Hi, everybody. I am staying in the Boulderado Hotel in Boulder. Hence the flowered wallpaper behind me. I've never done one of these before, but I was just writing about something and I thought that it would be really fun to just start talking about it. So I want to talk about this concept that I've been working with that has been so neat and so helpful to me. And, I could write about it in my book and it can come out in 2 years, but I really want to share it because it's just been so helpful. And there's a little bit of a backstory here as to how I came up with this. But the essence of what I'm going to talk about is this idea that I call cultivating photonic density for vitality and health. So what is photonic density? A lot of you know that I've been in Jamaica for the winter, and recently, maybe back in the beginning of January, I was sitting on a lounge chair at a hotel, and there were a bunch of kids playing around me, and they were probably somewhere between the ages of 6 and 12, and they kept going past me. And so I talk about how I have this X-ray vision, how I can close my eyes and I can see patterns in people's bodies. And so what I did was I just had my eyes closed, and there was this one little girl in particular who was maybe 6 or 7, very healthy child. And I just tuned into her energetic body as she was going by me. And I observed that she had very densely packed photons. So, in biofield tuning, what we do is we find the light, the energy that's in people's fields that has been shed, that has been released from stress. That's really what aging is, that we start young and full of vitality, and then we take all these hits as we go through life, stress, money problems, divorces, car accidents, all of these things take energy out of us. And we know when we see people and they've gone gray overnight or, just aged from stress. And that really is this leaking of light or shedding of photons. And so the process of biofield tuning helps to restore that. And that's great. You go see somebody and they do it for you. But it's really something that you can cultivate in yourself through mindfulness, through awareness. Part of it is just becoming aware that you are photonic, that you are a light body, that that the idea of a light body is not some kind of spiritual vague thing. It's an electrical reality. Your heart is an electrically driven oscillator. Your brain waves are electric. Your bones are piezoelectric. Your blood carries a charge. Your fascia, your collagen, it's all electric. And I really like the idea of raising your voltage instead of raising your vibration, because the more voltage you have in your system, the more integrity you have in all your cell membranes and all of your body systems. So you want to have a high level of voltage running through your system. And so what I found was if I lay down in the sun, which is easy to do in Jamaica and not so easy to do in Boulder at the moment, and just really visualize my internal light structure, I found that I could use my imagination to draw photons into me, that I could actually, especially with this little girl, that I could achieve sympathetic resonance in my own system with her. So I'm not taking anything from a child, but rather finding that resonance in myself so that I could vibrate with that same information. And since I've been doing this, and I combined this with using the sonic slider that a lot of you already know about. It's just a tuning fork that I've been rubbing the handle over my body and finding that it was getting my lymph to move. But not only was it getting my lymph to move, it was vibrating my bones, that it was stimulating deep muscles. And this is part of this youthful energy, is really being in touch with this deepest part of ourselves. And over the course of 5 weeks of practicing this visualization of photonic density along with the sonic slider, and I'll be honest, I was affirming that I was restoring my teenage body. That was what I was imagining, that I wanted to go back to the photonic density of a teenager. And the consequence of that exercise was that I went from a size 6 to a size 2 in 5 weeks. And I've been a size 2 since I was 14. And not only that, but my energy level, which is already good from all the biofield tuning I did, I went up. I got springy. I became springy. And there's another part to this too, because it also has to do with anti-gravity waves. And I'm going to talk really briefly about that. That really deserves a grease board and an explanation. But there's a force of nature that we're not told about. And that when we learn about and we understand this force of nature, we can harness it. And what it is, let's see if I can never really describe this without a grease board, but I'll try to explain it. That gravity, we've been taught, is a force that pulls us down. Walt Thornhill, who's the architect of electric universe theory, says that gravity is actually a force that is all the cosmic radiations, the sun, the stars, the ether, the pressure of space, pushing in on the earth. And then when it comes to the center, it turns around and it bounces back out. So we know that the surface of the earth has a negative charge, but just below that, it has a positive charge. And so this radiation coming up from under our feet is something that we can actually harness and make use of. And what, Lois, you say you're having a hard time reading my lips. Is there no volume? I hope there's volume. It wouldn't be any fun if there wasn't volume. So when you learn to tap into that, and again, it's visualization. So you want to just visualize what is essentially kind of like starlight coming up under your feet and into your body, up through your bones. And it's sort of like champagne bubbles. It's a kind of illuminated effervescence that you can really harness. And so when you combine this idea of visualizing this free energy, these anti-gravity waves coming up into your body, and you visualize this photonic density, and then if you throw the sonic slider into the mix as well, it's an extraordinary combination to bring youthfulness. I mean, I think that's what we all want, and it isn't vanity so much as, the more energy that you have, the more you can do, the more you can help other people, the more you can just get stuff done. So you want to have a body that's vital. You want to have a body that's full of energy. And, when I went through that transformation last month, I didn't exercise. I didn't really change the amount of calories I was taking in. And yet my body became stronger, firmer. And it's an ongoing process too. I think that the culture we live in sucks the life out of us. There's so many places where we're constantly discharging, and you need to recharge. And this is such a simple way to do it. I'm also a really big fan of leather-soled shoes. When you don't have rubber in the mix there, it's a lot easier to bring that energy up. So you can do it, sitting in the sun. You can do it lying in bed. The power of our imagination is extraordinary. So that's it. You want to just practice visualizing photonic density in your system. And if you've got any little kids running around, see if you can just find resonance with their system. Feel how light they are, how much light they still have in them, right? And you haven't lost your light. It's still there around you. You just need to draw it back in and supplement it with this anti-gravity, and you'll start feeling a lot better. Good. Okay, guys, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Be well.